Hello, students. Welcome back to the online lecture of Environmental Studies Semester 1. We were discussing the first module of Semester 1 syllabus, Environment and Ecosystem. Till now, we have discussed the conceptual background of environmental system, natural and anthropogenic environment, components of natural environment, concept and components of ecosystem, energy flow in ecosystem, classification or different types of ecosystems. Today, we are going to discuss the remaining part of this module, that is functions of ecosystem and importance of environmental studies. Before we continue with the lecture plan for the day, we need to go through module objective. By the end of this unit, we will be able to understand the concept, definition, nature, scope, and importance of environment and ecosystem. We'll be able to understand the relationship between man and environment, and also we'll be able to understand the importance of environmental studies. We have discussed energy flow in ecosystem in the last lecture, wherein the food chain, food web, ecological pyramid, and few examples of biogeochemical cycles have also been discussed in the last lecture. This lecture aims at discussing different functions of ecosystems and also importance of environmental studies. In fact, the ecosystem is considered as the functional unit of the biosphere, and therefore there is a continuous flow of energy in the ecosystem. In fact, the flow of energy in the ecosystem itself is a function of ecosystem, wherein energy and nutrients continuously flow through ecosystem from one organism to the other organism at various trophic levels. However, by the universal law of thermodynamics, we have discussed that at every trophic level, when energy is transferred from one trophic level to the other trophic level or higher trophic level, significant amount of energy is lost in form of heat back to the atmosphere, and little energy that passes through the ecosystem from one trophic level to the other trophic level. And this continuous inflow and outflow of energy and also the nutrients play important role in functioning the ecosystem. There are few important principles of ecosystem functioning. The first principle is ecosystems run on solar energy. Rather, solar energy is the sole source of energy for the ecosystems. Nutrients are recycled in the ecosystem. Different types of biogeochemical cycles explains us that how nutrients flow from one sphere to the other sphere in cyclic manner, and they also interact in the biosphere, resulting in the functioning of the ecosystem. The important characteristics of ecosystem function is it doesn't support large number of top consumers, because in the ecological pyramid we have seen that as you go at higher trophic level, the number of organisms go on reducing significantly, and therefore the number of organisms or number of consumers, rather highest order consumers, maybe third order consumers, uh, are least in number, and this has the law of uh, energy reduction at higher trophic levels. The amount of energy that flows in the ecosystem is very much limited. In fact, the least amount of energy that is being used actually in functioning the ecosystem, and also at every trophic level the amount of energy that transfers from one organism to the other, that go on reducing. Energy is lost in terms of heat at every successive trophic level that we have already discussed, and the amount of energy and amount of material that also decreases as we move up at higher trophic level in the food chain or food web. The first function of the ecosystem is production. Production is the first stage of energy transfer, wherein the solar energy is captured by the green plants and photosynthesizing organisms, which produce their own food through the process called photosynthesis, wherein the input are carbon dioxide, sunlight, water, and chlorophyll, whereas the output is glucose, that is C6H12O6, and the byproducts are oxygen and water vapor, which released back to the atmosphere through green leaves of plants. Distribution of material is another important function of ecosystem, wherein the amount of material that passes through one trophic level to the higher trophic level ultimately distributes in the entire ecosystem in form of tissues of different living organisms in the ecosystem. And therefore, the distribution of material, may it be nutrition or may it be nutrients or may be energy, that get distributed in the entire ecosystem, and every organism gets some share of that material through food chain and food web. I mean, in this particular flow of material, every organism is food for other organism. Energy cycling is another important function of ecosystem. It is a matter of fact that none of the organism on this planet is immortal. Everyone is mortal, everyone has to die. And after the death of any organism, may it be plant, may it be primary consumers, may it be secondary consumers, or may it be higher order consumers, after the death of these organisms, the dead bodies are buried into the soil, and the decomposers or saprotrophs, which include microscopic organisms like bacteria and fungi and insects, they disintegrate the dead bodies of animals and plants and other organisms in the ecosystem, and they convert the complex material into simpler substances which can further be used to cycle the energy through the ecosystem processes. Primarily, trees and plants, they use nutrients from the soil, and these nutrients are nothing but the energy that is being recycled or the energy that is being contributed by the way of decomposition by saprotrophs. Diversification is another important function of ecosystem. The diversification speaks about complex interactions between organisms. So there are various interactions or there are various interlinks between one organism to the other, and also the organisms with their surrounding abiotic or physical environment. And these kind of thousands of interlinks that are formed through the through the energy flow systems, and this diversification always makes the ecosystem a complex system of energy. And the last function of ecosystem is nutrient cycling, wherein the chemical elements like carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, and also water cycles through the ecosystem through biogeochemical cycles. So we have discussed water cycle or hydrological cycle, carbon cycle, and nitrogen cycle in the last lecture. So the cycling of these element through biosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, and lithosphere, this cycling is called as nutrient cycling, and they also play important role in functioning the ecosystem. So these are important functions of ecosystem. Let us now try to understand the importance of environmental studies. Very often the question that arises in our mind that why the environmental studies has been put into the syllabus of undergraduate level or postgraduate level, and also in school level education. The fact today is that human activities or human influence on nature has increased to a certain extent that it has resulted into imbalance in natural environment and also unsustainable natural environment. This leads to the rapid devastation and degradation of natural resources, and therefore it is a time to preserve these natural resources in order to satisfy the need of present without compromising the ability of future generation to satisfy their own needs. And therefore the awareness and the information about various components, processes, problems, and issues of environment needs to be understood right from the school education. And therefore environmental studies is an important subject which not only makes us aware about various environmental processes, but also will help us to make able to take sustainable development strategies and work towards that direction. The first importance of environmental studies lies in the conservation of nature and natural resources, because most of the natural resources in the world are non-renewable or exhaustible, and we have to protect these resources from further degradation. Loss of biodiversity is another global level environmental problem by which hundreds of species of plants, animals, and birds are disappearing at a very faster pace due to increasing influence of human activities on this planet. And therefore biodiversity needs to be conserved at priority basis. Pollution is another major environmental problem that is caused by human activities like industries, urbanization, development in infrastructure, automobile sector, and so on. And therefore the level of land pollution, water pollution, noise pollution, and air pollution in certain places of the world has gone to a certain extent that the human lives or human health is at risk in many places of the world. And therefore control on the environmental pollution is another important need for the day. The human population is increasing at a very faster pace, and that has resulted into increasing exploitation of natural resources world over. and therefore the balance between the number of people we have in a country or in the world and the amount of resources that we require to satisfy the needs of this population needs to be achieved. If there is increasing population, the resources are not increasing at the same pace, and therefore we have to control the human population. At least we have to stabilize the growth rate of human population so that the natural environment and its degradation may be controlled to a larger extent. I was talking about the kind of development that takes into consideration the needs of present and also the future generation, which is popularly known as sustainable development. And therefore achievement of sustainable development may be a major goal before the present world and in near future. That's the reason why environmental studies is important. The exploitation of exhaustive natural resources or non-renewable energy resources has resulted into various problems. Coal, petroleum are the energy resources which are on the verge of getting total exploitation or total loss, and that is the reason why we need to preserve, protect it from further degradation, and therefore there is a need to use inexhaustible and renewable energy resources, and we have to protect and preserve the non-renewable energy resources. For this, large-scale environmental education and awareness is needed among the stakeholders of the world. Various environmental management practices through legal awareness or environmental legislation, various international standards, environmental movements, or various standard procedures like environmental impact assessment needs to be practiced continuously, and therefore environmental studies will help us out in practicing environmental management and also environmental impact assessment I was talking about. And last but not the least, people have to develop eco-friendly approach, which will definitely lead to the sustainable development in long run. Although sustainable development is a distant dream, continuous efforts towards environmental friendly development will definitely achieve the goal of sustainable development one day. But for that, eco-friendly approach or ecologically friendly approach is extremely important. And to develop such approach, we have to inculcate the environmental values among the minds of people, for which environmental studies will definitely help them out. This is how environmental studies is important. To summarize, functions of the ecosystem. Ecosystem is a functional unit of the biosphere, and there is a continuous flow of energy and nutrients through the ecosystem, which makes it a dynamic system. And the study of environmental system is important not only to make people aware about the environment, but also to find out sustainable solutions to various environmental problems which are faced by human society in contemporary period. So that's all about the module number 1. We will start with the second module in the next online lecture. Till then, thank you very much. Have a nice time.